Hey, Dr. Jones here with Advanced Family Eyecare. Today I want to talk to you about something that I love doing, something that has brought me a lot of fulfillment in my life, and that's seeing kids with special needs. We really want to just introduce people that this is something we can do. We can really help this population, and so I'd like to talk to you a little bit about that. So before I tell you what we do for people and children or adults with special needs, what I'd like to do is let you hear from the father of a special needs child who we see, and just kind of what his experience has been like, what it's been like for him. So I'll let you hear from them right now, and then I'll be back to talk with you.
Can you say hi? My name's Justin Mason. We've lived in Spanish Fork, Salem area for about 5 years now, but prior to that we lived in Payson. I work here in the Valley as a software developer, and this is my daughter, Hayley. I don't even remember how we found Advanced Family Eyecare. Just we needed an appointment. We've been patients of Dr. Jones's since about 2007 and have had great experiences. First off, I guess I mentioned to Dr. Jones that we had a child, obviously, and he asked about her, and I mentioned that she was special needs. And when I think we first mentioned, we didn't really talk about eye care. And for her in particular. But then as she got a little older, I mentioned on one of my visits with Dr. Jones that, could he do anything for her? I was skeptical, even if he could look at her eyes at all. And he said, yeah, we'll bring her in, we'll see what we can do. And he's been able to examine her eyes and see that she's okay. Because her communication skills are so limited, it's hard to know how well she can or can't see. So for Dr. Jones just to look at her eyes, see that her eyes are healthy, it provides a peace of mind that she has good vision. Maybe it's one thing that was not such a concern any longer for us. She feels comfortable with Dr. Jones. He's always treated us very well and with respect. And
So when I first started doing eye care, something I was really pretty nervous about was when a special needs individual would come in, somebody who maybe didn't have the communication skills to tell me what I needed to know or what I thought I needed to know. How would I help them? What could I do for them? One of the real surprises in my career has been how much I enjoy doing this, how much I enjoy seeing special needs patients, how much I really can help them. And kind of one of the surprises to me is I tend to have a real talent. I have the patience and the ability to connect with these patients, so we really can help them out. And so that is something I love doing. The other thing that I've really found is how much joy it brings to my office. Every time we have one of our special needs patients in, my office is a happier place after they've been here than before. It just makes my whole staff smile. So we love doing it. We love to see them, and we love to help them. So who can we help here? Well, really, this is anybody that has limited capacity to communicate with us, anybody who might be difficult to figure out how well they're seeing. Anything like that we can help. We've seen Down syndrome patients. Those are really easy and a lot of fun to see. We've seen Fragile X patients. We've seen patients who really, they don't know what the disability or what's caused it, but they just have great difficulty communicating. We see any of those patients, and I found that we can really help almost all of those. What can you do? As you're looking and wondering about this, number one, we know that we can do more than you think we can do. All right, if you've got a child who you think, wow, there's just not much they can do, we can actually do a lot more than you think. We don't need much communication from them to make sure they're seeing well. We don't need much communication from them to make sure their eyes are good and healthy. And those two things, if we can figure out those two things, or if there is a problem, solve it, can really make your life better and their life better. The thing I really like about this is quality of life type stuff. Seeing well makes a better life. And so if we can help these individuals remove this one challenge from their life, that makes their life so much better. Often individuals with special needs, that it's just assumed that the challenges they're having are totally due to their disability. That's not always true. Sometimes some of it's due to their disability, but some of it maybe just they don't see well. And by solving that piece of the puzzle, we really do improve their lives, and that makes me just incredibly happy when we can do that. What should you look for when you're wondering if you should bring your child or even an adult with special needs in? Number one, if they haven't had an eye exam, we need to see them. because we don't know what we don't know. And if we haven't looked, we don't know. So bring them on in, let's take a look and we'll see if there's any challenges there. But what things should you look for? Difficulty paying attention. If they just don't seem to be paying attention at times, that might be it. Difficulty reading, of course, that can be something we can look at. Squinting or turning their head a lot, that's something that we should probably really take a look at. Just anything that might indicate they're having difficulty seeing or having difficulty paying attention really triggers for us to look at something and try to find a way to help them. So the next question is, well, how do we do it? How can we look at a child who, or an adult even, with special needs who can't communicate with us very well? How can we figure out what they need or if there is a problem? Well, number one, we can tell if they have a prescription just by looking in their eyes. Typically when a patient comes in, we'll do a few things right off the bat to just kind of check and see if their eyes are moving normally, if their eyes seem to be working well together as a team, and check all those things. And then, if we can, we'll see how well they're seeing. We'll have a look at an eye chart, whatever form that may take, whether we're looking at shapes or pictures or letters if they can do it, whatever it takes to try to get a feeling of how well they're seeing. But then I can determine what their glasses prescription is just by shining a light in their eye and looking at it. I can come very close that way. So we'll probably dilate them so that we can get a really good look and take a look and see if there is a glasses prescription there. Figure that out. Also, while they're dilated, I can take a look inside the eye. And once they're dilated, even if they're looking all around or can't hold attention or fixation, it doesn't matter. I can get a look in there and make sure that everything looks good and healthy. And that can really either put your mind at ease that everything is great, or help us know, hey, there is something we need to do, and just help them see a lot better and make sure those eyes are healthy. So that's the way we do it. Once the patient's dilated, we can do a lot with them. I can also just talking with them or just communicating with them in whatever way I need to, we can find out and get a pretty good idea of how things are, what's going on and how things are doing. Other things that we look for are things that may be causing comfort issues. If a patient has dry eye, that can be incredibly uncomfortable for them. And if this patient's having trouble communicating, they may not be able to tell you that. So by looking at them, we can also find comfort issues, things just to make them feel better and make them a lot more comfortable. So that's something else we look for as we're doing all this. Now, how can you help us? So if you were preparing to bring your child in, what would I have you do? Well, number one, bring me your questions or concerns. If you've noticed something, ask me about it. If you've seen something that doesn't seem quite right to you, let's talk about it. That'd be the first thing right off the bat. Number two, if they have some glasses or something already, bring them on in. We'll want to take a look at those and just make sure that that's good. Two, bring a good complete medical health history so that we can kind of know what's going on there, and that'll give us some insights on what to do there. And the last thing is, prepare them a little bit. Let them know that we may put some drops in their eyes, just kind of prepare them from all those things. There are sometimes if I've got a patient in here and they seem uncomfortable with me, our first visit may just be a chance for me to look at just a few things and get them comfortable with me. There's a lot of times that we'll do one visit just so they get to know, hey, this is a place that I'm safe. This is a place where I don't have to worry or be concerned. And then on the next visit, we may put the drops in their eyes, dilate their eyes, and get a little bit more, a little better information. But whatever we need to do, we'll help them make them comfortable. If you prepare them and just let them know it's all going to be good, that can be a huge help for us. Let me tell you a couple of my favorite stories from seeing special needs patients. These are stories that have just made me smile. I think one of my favorite ones was a father who, he was in for an eye exam and he mentioned he had a daughter with cerebral palsy that was quite severe. This child, she was pretty much confined to a reclining wheelchair or a bed. And he just said, I would love to bring my daughter in, I just don't think there's much you can do with her. And I said, hey, bring her in, I'll bet we can. And so he brought his daughter in, and she turned out to be just a lot of fun. She really brought a lot of joy to our office when she was here. But in looking at her, and through my eye exam, I found that while her eyes were healthy, she was really pretty nearsighted. And one thing we know is that children with disabilities typically have more visual problems than children without. And so that's not uncommon to find, but she was pretty nearsighted. And so we did some glasses for her. We did a special frame that had a strap on it that would hold it on, and did some things like that, but we did some glasses for her. And about, a month or so later, this girl's father came back into my office again, and I saw him. I said, hey, how'd that work out? How's your daughter doing? And he looked at me and he said, you know, before, when I'd be right in front of her and I'd be talking to her, she'd smile at me, and that's kind of their communication. He goes, ever since she's had the glasses, as soon as I walk in the room, she smiles. She recognizes me now. And that just made this Father's Day, and I can't tell you how much that meant to me. That was an incredible thing for me, just so rewarding to know that we had done that. Another one of my other favorite patients. This is a young girl, and she is a Kane Brown fan. She once again has cerebral palsy, but she loves Kane Brown. And she's quite communicative. She can talk to you and everything, and so she's a lot of fun to talk to. And so I found out she liked Kane Brown, so the next time she came in for an eye exam, I had a Kane Brown playlist ready and pulled up on my computer. So as she walked in, I hit play, and that Kane Brown music started playing, and she just lit up. It was kind of hard to do the eye exam because she was kind of like dancing all the way through it, but that was fine with me. It was a lot of fun. At the end of the eye exam, she looked at me and she said, "You're cute. Kane Brown's hot, but you're cute." And you know what? I'll take cute. That was just a ton of fun. So this is something I love to do. It's something that I think we really improve people's lives by doing. And so if you have a special needs individual, I would love to try to help them. I'd love to look at them, and the least we can do is bring peace of mind to you. The best we can do might be to improve their world. And so that's an awesome thing. Hey, if you've enjoyed this video, please give us a like down below, subscribe. If you've got a question, ask it. Just put the question in the comments down below, and I hope you enjoyed this.